Hi everyone, hope you're having a great weekend. Today I'm going to take you through my plonk and snapshot. You might be wondering what on earth a plonk and snapshot is. Well, it's just as the words describe. It's when I plonk and snap. It's really handy to have a couple of plonk and snap setups in your back pocket for those days when you're really busy, like today when I have 15 minutes to shoot this. Okay, so very important thing when you're in a rush, make sure you got some caffeine to give you a nice buzz, give you the energy, and my Hoover saves on cleaning up. I'm shooting in my dining room, which is where I ordinarily shoot, and I have the window set up with the curtains in a way where there's not too much light and not too little light. To me, having the curtains open this much is a no-fail setup for me because I know I don't have to struggle with not having enough light. I also know with this setup I don't have too much light. Now, too much light is one of the biggest tips that I really drive home in my photography book. Too much light is probably one of the most common problems that I see when bloggers ask me for feedback on their photos. So understanding what too much light is and using my secret lighting test, which I go through in the book, it's a major game changer for photos. So I'm in a rush and I know that this is going to give me beautiful light even without using my lighting test because this is a lighting setup I use quite often. Okay, so let's do this. So I literally took this stir fry off the stove less than 10 minutes ago and I stuck the spoon that I cooked it with into the stir fry. The reason I stuck the spoon in is just to break up that mass of jumble of stir fry, which was just too busy. Now all I'm going to do is use some chopsticks just to rearrange the ingredients a little bit, just to make sure you can see everything, because I haven't done any styling, I've just stuck the spoon in. The next thing I'm going to do is just add some extra sauce onto the meat and the veggies that are going to be in the frame of the shot. So I have the camera set up on a mid angle, which is my default angle, and the camera settings are my default camera settings. And I go through what all my default settings are on my camera in the book. There's a cheat sheet in there, which makes it nice and easy. Okay, let's shoot. And there's the shot. So for a plonk and snapshot, I'm really happy with that. When I go to edit it, I'm just going to zoom in and take out some of that background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my second shot, which is plating it up. So I've got some boiled rice ready to go and the garnishes. Coffee, I need coffee. Okay, so I'm putting some rice on the plate that I chose. Now, the one thing I'm very mindful of when I'm using a larger plate like this is not to overfill the plate. And the other thing I do is keep the surface of the rice fairly flat so I can pile the stir fry on top of it without it looking like Mount Everest. Coffee, quick. Shoot, I'm running so late. Okay, so just using a spoon to pile the stir fry on top of the rice. Generally, I start off styling fairly relaxed, and then I get to about 3/4 of the way, and then I finish it off with chopsticks. So you can see here, I just sort of dumped it on. Now I'm trying to get each of the ingredients and make sure you can see them in the pile. So here we go. I'm not being overly fussy about this, to be honest, because I'm in a rush. So then I put it into the set and I choose the best angle. There you go. I think that's good. And I can see a dry little patch of beef there. So I'm going to just drizzle some sauce on. I am going to drizzle some of the stir fry sauce on just before shooting, but I want to get the shot right first and then put the sauce on right at the very end. Following the cheat sheet in the book for the best camera angle for shots, because this isn't a very tall pile of food, this is best shot from a higher angle. So here you can see how much higher I've made the camera angle compared to the previous shot. Alright, let's take the shot. And there it is. So I haven't put props in yet. I wanted to do a test shot first. So here are my observations. Number one, I need to include a reflector because the shadows are too deep for my liking. Number 2, the sparkle on the surface of the food is lovely, so I don't need to change the lighting. And my third observation is that I don't need that many props because the shooting surface is so textured and interesting enough as it is. I can keep the other props very simple. So 2 little things I need to do to the food before I do the final shot is to do the garnish and then also a last minute drizzle of sauce. So garnish, just a little bit of sesame seeds, not too much because you don't want it taking away from the stir fry. And for the remaining garnish, I have a choice of sliced scallions, shallots, or coriander / cilantro. I think I'm going to go cilantro because I've already got shallots in the dish. I think I'm going to put the fronds on top because there's already so much going on in this dish and I already have the sesame seeds there, so I'm just going to pop it on the side. And for the remaining props, just going to keep it really simple. Chopsticks, a little thing of green tea. I'm going to drape some Asian looking fabric in the background. Okay, and then I put the reflector there. Back a little bit. I don't mind a little bit of shadow in this shot. So there's the set. Let's take the shot. There it is. Okay, so there's the shot. I'm happy with that. It looks a lot darker in the video than it does on the screen of my camera. The exposure in this is definitely... So now all I have to do to get the final shot is just to drizzle some sauce on the rice so you can see it in the photo. It's too hard to film while I drizzle the sauce on, so I'll just show you here. You can see where I've added some extra sauce. Okay, so let's take the shot. And there's the shot. I'm happy with that. And then to get my third shot, I just left everything in place, put a little ladder there, got up on it, stood over it, and took an overhead shot. Yeah, I lie. I moved the green tea closer and the chopsticks closer so they would be in the frame because they were further back for the angle shots. And there's the overhead shot. I'll crop it in slightly so the fabric isn't in the frame. And then I just leaned in closer and took a slightly more close-up one. I changed my camera settings for the overhead shot, and again you can see my default overhead camera settings in the cheat sheet in my book. Okay, so here's the plonk and snap photo set. So this is the first one, pretty much straight off the stove, nice and close so you don't have to do much styling around it. And here's the second one, plated up. And the same set from overhead. Now what I'm going to do is take an iPhone shot so I can show you guys that you can take a nice photo with good lighting even if you don't have a fancy camera. And now the best part, lunch. Yum. See you guys next time.